The master of Rumsey Park. When the flag is flowing on the staff, you'll find me at home, so do not pass. When the flag is gone and the staff is bare, don't try the door. I am not there. Albert Rumsey.
Following conversations with local Vermilionites Diane and Dave Rathben, several weeks ago, I got to thinking about their childhood home across from the big house on Lake Road at Rumsey Park, several miles west of town. Near the time or just after Mr. Rumsey's death, their mother, Dorothy's father, Henry Hayne, purchased the park. Mr. Hayne was the superintendent of the Sherwin-Williams Paint Company in Cleveland. After his purchase, he built 3 homes just across the road, on the lake, for his children. It was, to say the very least, an extremely interesting place for the rambunctious Rathben children to grow up. What follows is a reiteration of the story behind the property, and the fellow who once served as its master. On Tuesday, March 29, 1921, a headline on the front page of the Sandusky Register boldly declared that Al Rumsey, two-fisted fighting man of old Marine days, is dead. Picturesque character befriended many, his body to be cremated. It was a fitting title for a eulogy that would never be given, for a funeral that would never be held. For Rumsey had made arrangements several years before his death, calling for the cremation of the body without preliminary services, and in the presence only of the undertaker. And so, at the tender age of 73, he would have been 74 in another month had his heart not failed him. The master of Rumsey Park was gone. Rumsey Park, for the benefit of those unfamiliar with the area, is located on the south side of West Lake Road, Ohio Route 6, a little over 3 miles west of Vermilion. Though the property has long since been sold, resold, divided, and redivided, the house where Mr. Rumsey made his home still stands, as does a large barn that was later renovated, and currently serves as a private residence. But when Mr. Rumsey owned the property, he once boasted, "There are 17 buildings on this farm, and you can get a cooked meal in any one of them, any hour of the 24. So, in short, Al Rumsey's park was once a substantial chunk of real estate with many buildings of interest. Some folks may not know it, but Albert Rumsey was a Vermilion boy. He was the oldest child, born in 1847, into the Vermilion Township farming family of Russell and Rebecca Rumsey. He is described in one newspaper report as a big man, with a dominating personality, two-fisted, whenever the occasion demanded. Initially, it is said that he worked as a policeman in Cleveland. Then he worked as the proprietor of a gymnasium, spa, also in Cleveland, where he purportedly trained fighters such as Jack Dempsey and John L. Sullivan. From there he went to work on the lakes, eventually holding master's papers. He finally went to work for the predecessors of the Lake Carriers Association, rising to the position of commissioner of that organization when it was officially formed in 1892. It was a position he would hold until his death. As occupations go, it was a perfect fit. Rumsey was smart, tough, personable, and compassionate. At about the same time he assumed his first position with the Lake Carriers, in 1881, Rumsey purchased the property he would name Rumsey Park. And for the next 4 decades, he split his time between Cleveland and Vermilion. Enlisting the help of a sister, he began to fashion the Vermilion property into one of the most desirable estates on the southern shores of Lake Erie. He surrounded himself with animals of the woodlands he knew as a child. He had bears, see bear cage photo, foxes, wolves, as well as numerous other animals. He also kept a large kennel of bulldogs. And one year when his favorite died, he had a casket made, and buried the pet, erecting a marble monument over the grave inscribed with the words, "Truest Friend." Aside from prominent personalities, such as the actors, boxers, wrestlers, and jockeys, who frequented his home, there were also numerous unknowns. Among them were sailors whose fortunes had dimmed. Those who didn't necessarily want a handout, but a hand up. As one reporter put it, it was in lifting the little troubles that come to one in life that Rumsey was a master hand. It was his willingness at all times and under all circumstances to help someone overcome little difficulties that made him a favorite with all who knew him. And so it is that the master of Rumsey Park of a yesteryear is gone. But he is hardly forgotten.